Hello, a very good morning, all of you. Here I am going to start the unit number 4 of non-destructive testing. Before we start the unit number 4, we have discussed in the previous lecture and previous video. We had discussed on the some numerical which is based on the Black's law equation. So here I am going to start the unit number 4. So my dear student, unit number 3 is completed now. So we have notes, we have notes. I will provide notes and I have already provided notes. So unit number 3 is completed. So you have go through notes and with the help of the videos, and after that a study of unit number 3. If anybody have any problem or any doubt related to any topics, feel free to ask me through the mail or WhatsApp or the comment below the videos. Then I will provide the solution and I will give the solution and so on. Okay, so let's start the unit number 4, which is related to the non-destructive testing. So basically unit number 4 is based under the unit number 4. The first topic is ultrasonic testing. So and the first topic is ultrasonic testing and what are the basic terms associated with ultrasonic testing. So before starting the basic terms associated with the ultrasonic testing, we have to know what is ultrasonic testing. So what is ultrasonic testing? It is a family of non-destructive testing techniques based on the propagation of ultrasonic waves in the object or material tested. Again I repeat it is a family of non-destructive testing technique based on the propagation of the ultrasonic waves in the object or material tested. Basically ultrasonic testing is depend on the waves, which is the ultrasonic waves, which is a taken from the propagation. So basically based on the ultrasonic waves, and so this is the ultrasonic testing. It is a family of non-destructive testing technique based on the propagation of ultrasonic waves in the object. Now basic terms associated with the ultrasonic testing. My dear student, first is the scattering. What is scattering? It is the reflection of sound beam from its original direction of propagation. Right, it is the reflection of sound beam from its original deflection of propagation. Okay, the scattering, it's mean if something, some rays original rays are incident on some object, then reflected back, getting reflection, that reflection of sound is known as scattering. And the second point is absorption. It is the conversion of sound energy from one form to some another form. Basically use of the absorption is it is used to convert the sound energy into the another form of energy. And the third is attenuation of sound wave. We have discussed in the previous unit what is the use of attenuation, or what is the meaning of attenuation and what is the function of attenuation. Basically we know that attenuation is used to reduce the intensity of the radiation or intensity of the rays. So now here in ultrasonic testing, attenuation of sound waves, it is combined effect of scattering and absorption, which state that when a sound beam travels through any medium, its intensity gradually reduced due to the scattering and absorption. So it is very easy to understand, and then mathematically it can be expressed as A equals to, here A is equals to U into e to the power d alpha, and where A is equals to amplitude, U is equals to attenuation amplitude, and d is equals to distance traveled, and alpha is equals to attenuation coefficient, right? And here is the graph of the decay of the sound wave. Okay, so this is the formula. A equals to U into e to the power minus d into alpha. And the fourth point is acoustic impedance. It is defined as the product of density, multiplication product of density and acoustic velocity, that is v of that material. It is used to determine the relative amount of sound energy coupled through and reflected at an interface, and also in design of ultrasonic transducer. The acoustic is defined as the product of the actually acoustic impedance is equals to product of density and velocity, that is the acoustic impedance. And third is the Snell's law. It is important. It is very important. Snell's law. It is the law which describe the relationship between angles and velocities of transmitted waves without considering the waves those are reflected back. Again, I repeat the principle. It is the law which describe the relation between angles and velocity of transmitted. क्या कहना चाह रहा है कि it is explain the relation between angle and velocity. किसकी velocity? Transmitted waves. If any waves incident on any object and get back or transmitted back to the surrounding, that is the transmitted waves. So relation between the angles and the velocity of transmitted waves without considering the waves those are reflected back. Now it expressed as sin I upon sin r equals to v1 upon v2. See this this graph. This is the figure. Incident I is equals to angle of incidence, and reflected beam v2, that the v2 is velocity of in the material 2. Here is the material 2 and here is the material 1, and here is the I and I is the angle of incidence, and I equals to r. Here v1 is the velocity of material 1. So r is equals to angle of refraction, not reflection, that is refraction. Okay, r is the angle of refraction, and this one is the reflected, this one is reflected beam, and this one is the refraction beam. So try to understand what I want to say. If if any ray with angle I incident on the object material 1, and some waves are reflected and some is refracted. So refracted beam beam is here and reflected beam is here. So sin I upon sin I are equals to b1 upon b2, where I is equals to angle of incident, r equals to angle of reflection, v1 is the velocity in the material 1 and v2 is the velocity in material 2. So this is the Snell's law. The next is signal to noise ratio, that is the SN ratio. Snell's law and SN ratio is very important. What is SN ratio? It is measure of difference of signal of defect from weather background signals for ambient flaws detection. That is SN ratio, and SN ratio is 3:1. 3:1. This is the SN ratio or signal to noise ratio. And here SN ratio depends on following factors. SN ratio depends on the following factors, such as first is the size of probes, which depends on the size of probe, frequency produced by the probe, and bandwidth, and location of defect, and efficiency of the probe. These are the factors on which SN ratio depends. And next is a Q factor. What is Q factor? It is defined as the ratio between central frequency and difference between lighter and lower frequency. Q factor is difference between the ratio of the central frequency and the frequency difference between the higher and the lower frequency. Here is the formula. Q is equals to FC. FC is what? Central frequency upon FH minus FL. FH is equals to higher frequency and FL is equals to lower frequency. Is the difference of FH and FH minus L. And here is the graph of the Q factor. So this is the Q factor. So my dear student, these are the basic terms associated with ultrasonic testing. What are the terms related to ultrasonic study we are studying now? Now it is completed the topic of basic terms associated with the ultrasonic testing. In the next lecture, we will discuss on basic principle of ultrasonic testing, and we will understand the principle of ultrasonic testing and how we can use the ultrasonic testing in the non-destructive testing. Right? Okay. Thank you very much for for watching this video, and you have followed this video, and you have already the notes. So take your notes and follow this video, and after that, after study, if you have any problem, if anybody have any problems related to any topics, feel free to ask me. Thank you very much.